Salams and welcome on a cold winter morning, 6 o'clock, 29th of June. What day is it? It's a Saturday. And welcome. I've written this book, Islam in the Media, because I was unhappy with the way Islam is being portrayed in the media. This is the media. And I'm a Muslim. I'm born a Muslim, alhamdulillah. I'm also a scientist and I'm a medical doctor. I've got 4 degrees from the University of Witwatersrand, Johannesburg. I studied, in addition to science and medicine, I studied exercise physiology, advanced human genetics, astronomy, and even human evolution. I've written a thesis under Professor Philip Tobias, paleoanthropologist, on early hominid species, fossils, and evolution, Australopithecus afarensis, Australopithecus gracilis, Australopithecus africanus, and all the various species, hominid species. Went myself into the Makapansgat cave, Stukfontein caves, digging for fossils. And after all of that, I come to the conclusion Islam is the truth, without a shadow of a doubt. So as a scientist, as a doctor, as a Muslim, and as one who studied astronomy and evolution with 4 degrees, I can tell you that Islam is the truth. Okay, so when I read in the media how Islam is being distorted, then I wrote this book, alhamdulillah, through the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's 1,000 pages, 1,054 pages, and the icon here tells you who is behind the camera. And then I found, I don't want to be harsh on the media, many journalists are uneducated about Islam. They will only say what their editors or their boss wants to say, and the boss is owned by another boss, who's owned by another boss, who's owned by another boss, who's owned by a mega corporation, who's owned by the politicians who want to distort the image of Islam. Okay, so there's always a hidden agenda. So I said I want to educate the journalists. I'm a media person myself. I love media. I love everything to do with the intellect. I love the human brain, and that's why I study the human brain. And then I say, when media is very powerful, but when they send out false information, whether it's false information on Islam or on the COVID or what is cancer about or what is heart attack about, sometimes the pharmaceutical companies want to make money out of you. Okay, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. I mean, there were so many conspiracy theories about 911. There were so many conspiracy theories about COVID. Did COVID actually exist? Yes, a lot of people made money. The pharmaceutical companies made trillions of dollars, trillions, out of the vaccination, out of the medication. From 2019 for the next 3-4 years and up to today, they are still making money because of post-COVID. But that does not mean COVID did not exist. Yes, COVID, from a scientific and a medical point of view, COVID is a reality. It is a germ. It is a reality. So don't deny COVID. The point is, yes, some people took advantage of the fact that it occurred, of the pandemic. They took advantage of it. But that does not, yes, some people got fabulously rich with it, but that does not mean that it did not exist. Some people have the mistaken idea, no, it's only a conspiracy, people want to make money. No. So look after yourself. If there's a scientific, medical, and factual basis for something, follow it. But the fact, like for example, they say people land on the moon. When I was in my 60s, I believed it. But today, I'm having grave doubts about it. You know why? Today, they can't even send rockets to the moon with human beings on it. You know, with our advanced computers. And they're telling us in the 1960s, they did it with those old computers. So I have very grave doubts whether we even went. We must understand there was a Cold War between America and Russia. Okay, so the media manipulates it. Why? Because governments are behind the media. They own the media. Who sent the first spaceship out? First spaceship out. We always think it's America. Neil Armstrong. No, that's not true. Americans were the Russians were the first to send a man into space. First is the Russians. Russians were the first to send a living thing into space. They sent a dog. I forget the name. I think it's Lushka. They sent a chimpanzee. Meanwhile, America was far behind. America said, hey, we got to do something. We got to do something. When they sent, it was Yuri Gagarin. I don't know who's a Russian. I must do my research. Yuri something, a Russian fellow. They sent him into space. America said, hey, we better do something. So then they say, okay, we land on the moon. Now I have serious doubts about it. All right, but to come to the point, same way with Islam in the media. I have very serious doubt as to who's holding the camera. What image are they trying to portray into our brain? Are they giving us the truth or are they giving us the falsehood? Okay, who's holding the camera? Who owns that camera? Are they putting our brain in a cage? Who's putting our brain in a cage? Who's putting your brain in a cage? And who's putting my brain in a cage? So join me as I will tell you. And at the back of this book, I've got here what Malcolm X said. If you're not careful, listen to what Malcolm X has to say. If you're not careful, newspapers, that means the media, will have you hating the people you are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. This is from Malcolm X. You will love the people who are being oppressed because no one is listening to them. The people who are being oppressed, they are poor. They don't own the media. But the people who are doing the oppressing, they are the rich people. They are the mega corporations. They are the politicians. So they are the ones who own the media. So whoever owns the media is the king. Whoever owns the media is putting your brain in a cage. So are you willing to put your brain in a cage? So join me as we go through the book. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.